This week on the Venator series, we add another foot to the Venator. Hey guys, it's me Will. Welcome to week 54 of Boy My Custom Venator. This week, we're working on the tail aft section as suggested by Richboy J at Brooklyn, Chicago, since I won't be motivated to work on this section if I continue working on the bridge next. So this is the section we are working on this week. But before we get into this update, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. We are almost at 5K, so let's try to hit that by the end of this week. Let's get into the update though. To start off this week on the Venator, we are going to be installing some lights in the front chunk right here. That is the goal for this week. And if you want to get some lights for yourself, use code REALBRICKS down below. You save 10% and I get 8% in commission of what you buy if you use the affiliate link only. So use that affiliate link because then you're helping fund this Venator and you're getting something for your money, like the Lego Hogwarts Castle, which is a great kit to light up. I'm gonna light that up one day for sure. Right, I've set up almost all of these lights as it looks very messy right there. Kind of have to organize it on the inside, but this is the reason why I use Technic beams, is so that you can run lights through them. That's the whole reason this whole time I've been using them. Also because it's like super strong. But like another reason was I knew eventually I was going to add lights, and I knew I was going to need that, so I've been using Technic beams for all of these because lights. So it looks great, it fits perfectly, and you gotta make them a bit snug so that you can try to hide the wires. There's a little spot right there, but we're gonna do our very best to add some more grooving over eventually. So make sure you don't see any wires, but I mean you can see a few things like that little wire right there and the little wire right there. But we're gonna add more things to it so you don't see it. But yeah, it's really quite a cool concept. But I'm thinking I'll do here, I'll let that hang for a second. We'll do like one control board for each section, so one here and one there. Like maybe one or two here, one or two there, I'm not sure exactly, and then have them all running to this under section right here, which will hold bearing boxes. Alright, we got them set up and attached. They look so freaking good. I did take up a lot of grooving just like so I can get them on, but I'll be adding that back now. But imagine once all the grooving is back on properly, this is gonna be so amazing. I'm super happy that like this looks this good. Starting off with this back section this week, we have a lot to get into because there's just so many problems. I thought this was going to be way easier, but it's going to be way harder than I thought it was going to be. So to start off, our first problem is this Republic frigate. My goal was to have it fit inside the Venator at all times, but it won't be able to now because these engines hang out. You see, originally I had this thing that was like built on the outside here or whatever. You saw me destroy it a week ago or something. But without that piece there, this thing hangs over, which I did not know that was going to happen. However, it needs to be a straight line here because that's how it is on design. It's a straight line that has one of these things like hanging off it down like that. So it needs to be a straight line, which means this will only be able to fit if the back is detached, which is a bit unfortunate because when I first started this project, the whole goal was to be able to make this thing fit inside of it. But architecturally and logistically, it's just not possible because it's crazy. Also, with the fact that I need to figure out somehow to run support from here to like all the way out here or something where my hand is for the back end, which you saw me working on a bit last week. We got quite a bit more done as you saw the intro, the update of that back section, but we still gotta figure out a way to attach it. Maybe I could do it from the bottom. Then how are the marks here supposed to get out? Because there's supposed to be like a ramp here that comes down. So I also have that to figure out, which is another huge issue for me to figure out this week in the Venator update. But there's just so many problems with this because there's so many angles I gotta figure out, and this is definitely gonna be one of the hardest things to do on the Venator. Good thing I'm tackling this now instead of later when I only have like a month left to build this thing. But wow, this is going to be a super hard issue to fix. The first thing I got to decide though is which angle I want to capture this at. Do I want this kind of angle or do I want this kind of angle right here? Because they're both different, but I'm leaning towards this one just because I think it will work out a bit better. And I've seen a lot of other Venator models use it with this kind of style, with this, you know, amount of brick on the outside. I do have more of these, but I've yet to find them. I just don't know where they are, but they are somewhere in my collection. I do have to find those, but this is definitely the plan, I think, for the Venator. But I've been prototyping with both ideas for a bit, but now I'm going to try to implement one of these ideas and see how that looks. We've made some kind of progress. Yeah, it doesn't look too good right now. By the way, love that Jurassic Park Jeep, one of my favorite sets of all time. But anyways, this is the idea I've had. So we got a Bark Speeder Bay down here, which used to be a Republic Fire Tank Bay, but now it's a Bark Speeder Bay because the Republic Fire Tanks just don't fit anymore. So we got this Bark Speeder Bay. It can hold at least 12 of these Bark Speeders down there, which is kind of insane, but I need a way for them to get out. So this is that little concept I thought of, is having some sort of a ramp right here where it comes like this and then goes poof, which is going to be a concept I'm going to be using probably for this. And then I'm just going to have the bottom tail go like this all the way up here, something like that. It's hard to describe, but basically it's narrowed on here and then it gets wider over here. But it is a bit wide at the bottom section, I do the same, because we're going to have it be like, I don't know, let's see, like 10 studs wide, which is a bit wide. I wanted it to be 8 studs, but we need Technic installed in here, because when we have a big long Technic beam going from here all the way like out there, which is a far distance because of the big tail that's going to be attached to the Venator, we're going to need Technic beams. So there is no other way around that. So we're going to just have Technic beams and suck it up. Now, there are a few other issues I need to discuss with you guys. This angle, oh my goodness, this is such a hard angle to figure out. And also the fact that we had to redesign this again because I looked at reference art and this is not a straight line. On the top, sure, it's close to a straight line, but on the bottom, no. It is somewhat of a slope, kind of like this, going all the way back, which is kind of silly. So now I need to figure out a way to do that as well, which is something I hope to get done this week, at least on this side. Heck, we still haven't even built this panel yet because we were waiting for pieces to arrive. Of course, the pieces have arrived now, but I'm trying to figure out this back section so that I can place a new order for more parts to work on this tail section, because as you can see, this is just all in prototype production right now. We need the actual parts to build it. So we're going to need to place a parts order for that, and we're also going to need to place parts orders for the big engines that are coming out. I have a few parts for the engines, but not a whole ton, which is why I need to figure out this stuff quick, because it'll take Lego a month to ship unless I use Bricklink sellers, which I might do for some things, but there are a lot of parts that I think Pick-a-Brick will be needed for. Alright, it's progress time. We made some progress on this back section a bit. We got some supports holding it in. It's not super strong though. That's literally the only thing holding it together is this one Technic rod, which I installed underneath there to connect both sides. And I got a little joint that holds it together, and this thing's about to fall off. I mean, honestly, even if it like attached to one of these 16x16 plates, this thing, I can feel it, is about to fall off. So I need to figure out a stronger point of connection. I've been trying a few things. First, I went for the bottom side and up, and that didn't get me anywhere. But this seems to be a bit stronger. Maybe if I did a second one on the other side, which I do plan on doing, it'll be better. But at this point, there's just so much support that will be needed for this massive back tail. Honestly, like, it is really big. I might reduce it in size a bit because it may be a bit too big, but honestly, this is probably accurate in size. So I definitely have to think about how I'm going to do this back tail section. Now, some of you may be asking, Will, why don't you just use like a central beam going from the bottom? Well, I do want to be able to detach this because otherwise it won't be able to fit my car so easily. So there's a lot of factors that play into this, but right now I'm just trying to get this thing built somewhat so I can figure out an idea of how I can detach it separately. But I mean, honestly, if I ran a beam going all the way through this thing all the way to the end, it'd be super strong. But sadly, I can't do that because I want to detach both ends from it. Alright, after a few hours of work, we have somewhat found out a solution to how to make this work. We need one from the top and one from the bottom. We're going to do two, obviously, just to make sure it's good, but we need to have one from the top and one from the bottom. The top one is not as necessary, but we need to have something connecting it right here, because without this brick, everything just falls, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like, if you just remove this one brick, everything falls. And I don't really love that fact. I don't think you guys would either if you were on this section of the Venator, being a Lego made figure and just, you know, falling to your death. That would not be good. So I do need to figure that out somewhat, but we have somewhat of a plan now, which is really good. We do need to face a big order of Technic beams and a lot of parts, which is going to probably take another month, which is very bad. But we have somewhat of a plan now. But right now, I think I need to design some engines and some stuff in LDD, because we have 2 months to complete this, right? Lego shipping takes 1 month. So that means I gotta place my order now so we have a month to build everything at least. Which is a huge hassle because I don't have everything planned for the bridge. I don't have a lot of things planned, but I need to do some serious planning right now and figure out how I'm going to do engines, the bridge, everything, so I can make the right parts order and then get everything shipped. I could use Bricklink, but sometimes it's more expensive for some parts on Bricklink than it is on Pick-a-Brick. So that's why I'm just trying to figure out how to do all of this stuff at once so that we can get our Pick-a-Brick order in and Bricklink orders in so we can finish up this Venator by September 1st. Alright, we've made some great progress. We got this big tail attached. However, it may be too big in scale of the whole Venator. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think it might be too big? I can't get it in frame, but like, I don't know. It seems a bit big, so I might make it smaller next week. I'm not 100% sure yet, but there's just a lot to determine with this. But at least I got a rough prototype of what's going to be on here attached, because honestly, that was the goal for this week, is to try to get like somewhat of a rough prototype. But it's going to take a lot of pieces to get this completed. I mean, we have a bunch of 1x16 bricks from that most recent Pick-a-Brick order that I recently got in, which I still have to use for making another bomb panel, so we may be working on that next week. We'll also probably work on resizing this next week since this seems a bit big, but we won't know 100% if it's a bit big until I put the big panels on, and that way I can determine the size for this back section. But I wanted to thank you all for watching this week, and let's head to the outro. I want to end out week 54 on a good note, so I'll see you all next week. Hopefully I'll be placing that parts order, because actually there's 2 promos coming out on July 5th. It's the Blacktron promo, which I already have one of, and then the Bionicle promo, which will be great for reselling so that I can actually make some money back from all the parts I buy. So I'm super happy about that. But that is when I'm going to place my parts order, and then hopefully the parts will arrive in a month's time, and then we got an extra month also, because apparently the Venator is releasing that in October instead of September. So I'm super happy about that. We have more time to build this thing and get everything down to its perfect minute detail. But hopefully we'll be done before October though, like a little bit beforehand. But I'm very happy we have more time, because the amount of things I have to figure out still in this Venator is absolutely insane. But that's great for this week. Make sure to like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you all next week.